2 seconds. We'll start us off.
You guys ever try these Sprite teas?
Sprite teas.
Like an
Yeah,
Arnold
dude, they're
Palmer?
so good. Yeah, it's like Sprite and sweet tea together. It's fucking awesome.
I actually
Sounds
had
pretty
Sprite
good.
though in like a while.
Yeah, Sprite tea and Tito's. Sprite Tito's.
Sprite Tito's. All right. Well then, if there's no further ado, let me make sure that we are streaming. I think we're good to go. I'm gonna put on Snapchat. And we'll get going.
Yeah.
Felt bad asking Lambo for a thumbnail today. I was like, sorry about your Ravens, but can we get a thumbnail?
Sure.
Yeah, get back in the kitchen. All right. Let's get started.
The thumbnail you said was not very accurate of a week.
The last one?
Yeah.
Oh no, that was for the last one.
Okay.
So we bet against Dak, so I guess that counts for something. But yeah, well, the wise picks, it was not getting thrown up on this one again. All right. Let's get started in 3, 2, and 1. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys Podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
Doing well, Chris. We also brought in NFL analyst, Ravens fan, Ethan Valsich.
How you doing, boys?
We're doing all right. I need to face some music real quick before we get started here. I went to the Commanders game, and the mindset going in, ever since Jane Daniels got hurt, was blackout for Mariota, and that was successful. That was a pretty successful venture there. So I did have to recap myself on all these games. I will be a little if I miss some points or some analytical stats there. That's on Mariota, honestly. Like I didn't even pay attention to the game I was at. So we're flying off highlights and stats. But I had to face some music real quick. And it was a successful blackout for Mariota though.
I think you have to do that every week now for them to win.
No,
I'm
no.
gonna blame it on you next week when you're just chilling on your couch.
I can't do it every week. I will not do it every week.
We're down 2 touchdowns.
I bet. Yeah, if you're down 2 touchdowns, I'll
You guys
start
have a
grabbing.
Thursday or Monday night game.
I'll just run to the liquor store when you guys get
Middle of
down.
the week.
Yeah. So bear with me. I'm also blaming the wise picks on that, even though I was dead sober when we picked the wise picks. All right. So let's get into it. Ethan, we're gonna rip the Band-Aid off. You were the Monday night game. The Ravens, another surprising primetime L for the Ravens coming in here. I have my takes on this one ready to go, but I want to hear from you. What did you think? What did you think happened here?
I get my take going into it and coming out of it is truth. I'm not as surprised as I think a lot of people are. Going into the game, we're missing our best interior D lineman, probably our best D lineman in general, and our highest defender, and probably our best pass rusher against a team that's got a really good O, likes to run the ball. Looking at that, sorry, I don't know if you just can hear the train or not. I don't know, going into the game, offensively, they were going to light it up. I don't know if we just assumed it'd be force it to be Jared Goff and we'll be fine, but they were able to run the ball. Then Jared Goff got to play like he wants to, throw the ball in 3 or 4 key situations, be accurate, and win the game. And coming out of it, I know we're 1 and 2, but our 2 losses are against 2 teams that are in almost everybody's top 5 teams in the NFL. It's not like last year we lost to the Browns and the Raiders.
That's
and
true.
we still made it fine. Like I'm less worried than a lot of people are. Obviously, still stings that we lost. I think we should have won, and Derrick Henry's got to figure out that whole fumbling thing. But aside from that, I'm not too worried.
I think the Lions clearly had a game plan going in against the Ravens, and they really held up Lamar. Like Lamar could not get anything on the ground after that long run in the first quarter. And that was, I think, the most shocking part to me, that I didn't think that they would have the defensive personnel to just be able to have a spy on him every time, QB contain basically every time. And even if they did have those things, I thought Lamar Jackson would be fast enough to break past that. And I think that was, and of course the rushing attack. The rushing attack was phenomenal by the Lions. So I think those two things combined were the reasons why they shocked you guys at home.
And with the whole spy thing, I don't even think it's like they had these superior athletes. I think it's truly like the Lions mentality of like, we're not going to give, you might break, we're going to keep you in contain. Like you might break contain. We're still going to keep rushing after you. You see so many clips of Lamar breaking contain, like these star edge rushers, whether it's Max Crosby or Miles Garrett, just being like, well, there he goes. But these guys are like, I don't even know their names. And they're, Lamar breaks contain. There's other guys from the other side of the field still sprinting over to get him. I just think Lamar wasn't used to that. He's used to guys giving up, and these Lions players just don't give up.
I think that's a good take too, because they definitely didn't give up, and their linebacking core is phenomenal. So having the linebackers to help out the D linemen there really really helps out. Um, the red zone, the red zone is where I want to get to next. They're on the 1 yard line. They have that fumble with Lamar on the 4th and goal. Um, that one is like a little. Okay, actually, it's not that excusable. Why didn't they just stuff Derrick Henry down the line multiple times?
My biggest thing is not even. I'm okay passing the ball, but every time we're in the red zone, Todd Monken, who's a great offensive coordinator, pulls out this stupid bootleg to the right. Usually, when we're already on the right hash, so the field that's 53 and a third wides long is now 15 yards wide. But like you're putting all these players in one spot. You're giving yourself no passing windows. All the plays you look at them, all of our players are stacked, right on top of each other. Like spread it out, use Lamar's legs, threaten them everywhere, not in one tiny area where they beat us. They did it in Buffalo on the Mark Andrews drop. They did it here. They do it all the time.
It's weird that is like their go-to red zone play, and they did it with Derrick Henry too. They had him roll out to the right, which I thought was a wild time to throw out a trick play.
Yeah. Well, and did you see the commentators like, and you almost have Lamar on the other side of the field, dude. There's no way he's looking. Lamar was not part of that play. He hands it off. He's not supposed to be read number 2 on the opposite side of the field. Like, come on, it's a
Yeah,
dumb
not
play.
for Derrick Henry. Yeah,
You're having all these great playmakers, and you're just like littling down their responsibility and ability to be great by the calls we're choosing in the low red zone.
yeah, you could definitely feel that watching this game, and it ends up being an 8-point game, but it really in that fourth quarter, the Lions really blew it up on. That sounds funny. They really blew up the game though, and took care of business.
I do think that this game, like I think
I mean, honestly, it's both of our losses. The moment. Sorry, keep going, Chris.
no, you're good. I was just gonna say your initial take, I think, is the correct take coming out of this. Like I felt like this said more about the Lions than it did about the Ravens because we had talked about them a little bit when we were previewing this game. I think both of us weren't as high on their defense as some people were. Um, and like they did get to Lamar more than we've seen almost anybody be able to do. And the other thing was like Jared Goff going outside made us nervous and
Mhm.
didn't matter at all. Like we didn't think they'd be able to run the ball. And obviously you had injuries that helped them out a little bit, but still like the way that Montgomery and Gibbs were able to run all over that defense, like for a second week in a row now, I think the Lions are like it's clear that they're not missing any steps without Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn for that matter.
I mean, you could see it by
That
that.
touchdown they had on 4th down, so dirty.
So cool. That was so awesome. Where they handed it off to Amon-Ra and then he pitched it to Gibbs. I mean, that was that just proves it right there where it's like, all right, well, that Dan Gamble can be creative too, and that playbook is still around in that facility. It's not just gone. Um, so I do think it said a lot more about the
Alive and
Lions. I
well.
think that's a good point. And as Ethan said, that you guys started 0-2 last year against the Raiders and the Browns in two completely games that you guys should have won. So this isn't somewhere you haven't been before. And I guess it would just be I think a lot more people are nervous that the Chiefs are up next, but it's not the Chiefs of the old as we've seen all throughout this year. And
Yeah.
I do think that'll be a competitive game. Is that at Arrowhead?
Yep.
Yeah.
1:00 though, which is weird.
Yeah, that is a
Is it
weird one
actually?
o'clock game. That's a bad 1 o'clock game. That needs to be at least 4:30. Um, but I do think that there's like people should not be giving up on the season if you're a Ravens fan already. As much as I'd like to bury them, I don't think they should be buried. And Ethan, you were gonna say, I'm
And
guessing that the two games that you lost completely got blown up when Derrick Henry fumbled. Is that what you're going at?
yeah, and at that moment, like, obviously, there's still like, his fumble this time happened, I don't even know, like, as soon as the 4th quarter started,
Hmm.
but just, like, the mentality of the Ravens are for a team that's supposed to be this hard-nosed team, everyone thinks they're like the bullies of Baltimore, they're kind of a soft team, when things don't go their way, they kinda panic, they don't know how to, like, handle it. For a team
Hmm.
I think that, they're used to being so good, and again, teams kinda, like, get scared of them, and they kinda play into that, so when teams come up that aren't scared of them, like the Bills or the Lions or the Chiefs, they kinda, like, don't know how to handle that.
And that's been the problem I think in the playoffs too. Whenever something goes wrong, it seems like they just compound that mistake over and over again with how they play and how they have play calls on the field. Like the play calling completely switches up after that stuff happens, and it's very strange how that is for a well coached team, a hard nosed defense, and the the Baltimore mentality of how they should be playing. I
I will
want to
say
say. Oh, go ahead.
at least this game like was just a normal loss. Like you didn't blow a fourth quarter lead. You, at no point were you up by 2 scores. As far as losses go, you just got beat start to finish.
And again, I'm happy again, it's
Luck
by
was
a
good to
good
a
team, you know
degree.
what I mean?
Say again, Ethan.
I said I'm just happy it's against a good team. I'm happy we're not losing against like,
Yeah,
the Packers losing against the Browns. I think that says more about those
Mhm.
teams than this game says about either of the teams in this situation. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
agreed.
I think these first 3 weeks, always every NFL season, people are like, "Oh, this is like, if you're a 3-0 team, you're going to the Super Bowl. If you're 0-3, you're,
Oh,
picking number 1." I think there's a lot of teams that change from their week 3 roster to their, week 20 if you make it that far into the playoffs.
completely agree. Um, any final thoughts here? I think we got good hope for the Ravens fans out at their home.
I think if we play poorly against the Chiefs defensively, I think Dak Gore gets fired. I think Chuck Pagano takes over.
Is this
You
is
got
this a must
Chuck
win?
Pagano.
AFC race wise, it's like a super important game. I don't think it's like we lose this game, we don't make the playoffs. I don't think that happens. But I do think it's a very important game because I think, if the Chiefs, especially if they're not going to win their division, if we're fighting for that same wild card spot, I'd much rather play in Baltimore if it comes down to it at the end than Arrowhead.
You guys have a front heavy schedule. You have a
Yeah,
little bit of
yeah.
a
These
break with the
first 5
Texans.
weeks are pretty brutal.
Yeah, because you have the Texans next, and then Rams, which will be hard. But then you have the Bears, Dolphins, Vikings, Browns, Jets. I mean, you guys should be looking fine by December.
Yeah, our only worry is if those teams start figuring stuff out between now and then.
That's true. This is a 4:30 game though. I just
Okay.
Oh,
checked
it
it.
is?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right,
I was
Chris.
honestly kind of hoping it was a 1 o'clock game because I'm kind of sick of watching the Chiefs in the game of the week. It just, I feel like I've finally hit my breaking point. Or like this is the year where it's not like, all right, we're gonna look this bad offensively again. I know it's completely off topic, but
Oh,
It's all
get
gonna work
used to
out
it.
somehow.
They have
no,
they
I
have
know, but
3 1 o'clock games. Yeah,
oh,
four. That's it. So that the rest is going to be at 4:30 uh, or prime time.
Or later.
Yeah, we get the Chief. This is 4:30, and then we have Chiefs Jaguars Monday night, and then Chiefs
Ugh.
Lions, which might be a slaughter. Um, Sunday night the next week. Oof. All right.
The Lions are a good watch.
Yeah, the Lions are a fun watch on Sunday night. Let's get to the wise picks to help recap our week. Let's go down easy and start with the wins here. I had over in the backup bowl. I didn't think it would be from two pick sixes or a pick six and a fumble six. That helped out my over quite
I
well.
thought we did talk about the turnover, like that we were going to get at least one touchdown from a turnover.
That is true. I didn't think it would be two. And I didn't think it would be
two, and I didn't
Browning.
think it'd be
I thought it would be
Dane
Wentz.
Downing. Yeah.
Did you expect the Vikings to get what 90% of the amount of the over just themselves?
No.
100%, over 100% of the over just by themselves. Yeah, I did not expect that either. The Jordan Mason looked great. I didn't see much of Wentz highlights when scouring through here. Did he look all right? Look bad?
I felt like I also didn't see much about it. I felt like every time I watched, it was another defensive highlight for the Vikings. I feel like they were never on offense.
Yeah, didn't they
Yeah,
get like
I
a nice punt return too or something?
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
firing on all cylinders.
yeah, they had a 68-yard punt return, so that also helps. Um,
this game is over. Like I jumped when I saw the score at halftime. Like this game was over halfway through the first quarter.
yeah, it was not a good game. Not a good game at all. I guess the only thing that we could take away would be, is it panic? Like if you have Jamar Chase, are you panicking in fantasy?
I mean, that is a tough defense. So I'd give it at least another week or so. Who do they have next week? It's like, I don't know. Like first full game with the backup on the
Oh, they got the
road. Really good
Broncos.
defense.
Mm.
Not ideal. Oh yeah, it's the Monday night game.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
is
I
Monday
like
night.
but like, what are you gonna do with
Great.
him?
Yeah, you're not going to get any sort of good value for the number 1 overall pick. So it is a tough thing to do. I think you just hope for Jameis comes in. Try to get Jameis on the Bengals somehow. All right. Well, then we can
I
move
hope
on
they
from that one.
somehow get Kirk Cousins. I'd love to see Kirk Cousins just chucking it up to what's his name, Jamar and T.
The Falcons would have to eat all that salary. There's no way they have cap space
I
for.
think they would though, because I think they're going to cut him next year anyways, and get a draft pick and eat the salary that you're going to eat anyways, even if it's a fourth round pick. Maybe you hit
Yeah,
on that.
agreed.
You might want to keep Kirk around though.
After, and
Who
we'll get to
knows
them.
after?
Yeah. All right, Chris, let's
You
go
might
with
want to get rid
your
of him
win
though for
though.
that exact reason.
The Lions, or no, sorry, the Bears versus the
The
Cowboys.
Bears.
I mean, best Bears game in our lifetime.
Years.
Yeah,
I mean, what like this is what Caleb was as advertised. That throw to Burden on the flea flicker was like
beautiful.
pretty awesome. Especially considering the fact that that was not executed very well. Like the
Mhm.
first leg of the flea flicker was it like held your breath for a second, and then just ripped it. But like that, I feel like that's the best Caleb that you know that you saw in college and hope would translate to the NFL. Um, but this Cowboys defense also let Russell Wilson throw for 450 yards. And we saw how he looked against a defense that had a pulse. So I don't know. I'm not ready to like buy in on Caleb. I will say, out of the whole draft class, he's had the best starts this season.
It's a good, like, I think that's the way to do it. It's a good sign, and it's, as a Bears fan, it's what you want, but you got to remember that there's a little bit of an asterisk with that you're playing the Cowboys defense, which is abysmal.
And he also like did not look great the first 2 weeks. It's not
They
like he's been slowly building and now this is like he put it all together. This is a one-off compared to how he
And I think
looked.
that's the biggest thing with Caleb is like he's looked great sometimes, but like he needs to look great most of the time, if not all the time. You know what I mean? Like not all the like this is the first time he's had one full game of it. Let's see 2 games, 3 games, 4
Right,
games.
yeah. Baby steps.
the running game would scare me though. They still couldn't run the football. Um,
Mhm.
and they didn't need to because they were hucking it all over the yard. And I don't know if they'll need to against the Raiders that they have next week, but
I think
eventually,
I could run it against the Raiders. I need to just like I guess you didn't see. You were at the game.
I saw the Jeremy
They
McNichols
ran
run.
it all over the yard.
Yeah, I saw
That's probably
Jeremy
the one thing
McNichols.
these guys run.
Yeah, so but I do think like getting the rhythm under you, like getting the Ben Johnson offense kind of piecing it together piece by piece. At least we saw the deep completions. At least we saw um, that type of offense that they eventually want to have against everybody. So
Mhm.
that was an easy 1.5, especially once CeeDee Lamb was out. I mean, it was over.
Mhm.
And apparently he
Dude,
wants
that
to
was
play
so
next
quick,
week.
too. No way. I
thought
heard
it's supposed
today
to
he's
be out
out
in
3 to 4
6
weeks.
That I heard that he wants to play next week. There's no way after seeing the injury. Like there's no way he's
No, the
playing.
high ankle sprain, those are
Yeah, he's got to rest that up. There's no way he's playing next week. Um, the Cowboys, do they win? Do they win 7 games?
Not with CD out for. I mean, it depends on how much time he misses. But like that was the whole thing was they're going to be like a top 5 offense in the NFL, and every game's going to be 45-40. I don't know how well Pickens steps into that role, and they're like the offense has not been that great either through 3 weeks. Like I thought Dak would look better. So I don't think so. Right now, I don't think so.
The the winnable games would be the Jets, the Panthers, which they have the next 2 weeks after the Packers game. Um,
Mhm.
and then maybe the Raiders, if the Raiders are completely collapsed by Thanksgiving. And that
I
would
think they could beat
be
the Cardinals, too.
yeah, if the Cardinals if they can continue downsliding, I could see that as well.
They could beat the Packers.
And then the Giants at the end of the year.
Yeah, okay. They probably would. They probably win 8 games, honestly.
So wait, that's
And
1,
maybe if the
2,
Commanders are really
3,
good, they'll rest their
4.
starters that second to last week.
Yeah, that's
I mean, they
true.
beat us last year. Like that was our 3rd loss in a row.
That's a
That was
Christmas.
weird. It is a Christmas day.
I'm shocked
As
they
soon as
didn't
that
put that
schedule
in
came
Jerry
out.
World.
Yeah, that is weird.
What are you shocked by?
That's in the Christmas Day game.
That Christmas
Cowboys
Day.
Commanders. It's in
Yeah.
Landover, not Dallas.
Yeah, that is weird. All right. To the L's. We already started talking about the Falcons, so let's get them out of the way. We finally put some love into the Falcons. I thought their defense looked really good on Sunday Night Football. That was my mistake. Full blame on that one. We're normally we just not even anti-Falcons pod. We just don't talk about the Falcons. Like first
No,
week we
it's
hit
like,
every single
what's
game and just didn't
what's
even
the
talk
real
about them.
opposite of love? It's not hate, it's indifference.
Yeah.
That's how we are. Now we have to get back to that. That
But
is
from
probably the first Falcons wise pick, like maybe ever.
yeah, probably.
I mean, not gonna lie though, what have the Falcons done to deserve anything other than indifference over the past decade since they went to the Super Bowl?
Our point exactly.
Penix, we raised an eyebrow.
Yes, that was they got some difference there when we
It's
were
intriguing.
intriguing that pick. So Thomas, our friend, Ethan and I, he was ranting in our group chat about the Falcons. He did say that this was the first game that Michael Penix lost them single-handedly.
Yeah, this was on
Um,
him.
yeah, he blamed it on Penix. I mean, they couldn't get anything on offense going. They didn't score a single point. Their new kicker that they just got missed 2 field goals. So that's kind of funny because Younghoe Koo is now a Giant. It's like there's not much to say besides that this was just like the Panthers didn't even have to do much to win.
Did you guys see that one Ted McMillan catch where literally his crotch was above the corner's head?
Yeah, that was crazy.
So impressive, dude.
Yeah, if Bryce Young
Like
shreds the Pats
round
next
for
week, I
Bryce
would be
Young.
pissed.
Here you go, buddy. Here's a win under your belt. Like
Mm-hmm.
now, nobody has to talk about how bad you are for another week. We'll just kick the can down the road. But where are you at? Like as a Falcons fan, where are you at with Penix because like this is the first time that he's looked like dreadful.
Yes. I think that you're still like maintaining course. You have to be, of course. Like, yeah, I think you
You
have to
can't,
be.
yeah, you
Yeah.
can't really do anything else. It's week
I
Especially with
three,
no first round
and
pick
I'll
this
say
year.
like, yeah, right.
The concerning part would be that that the Panthers defense is one of the worst like ever assembled in the NFL.
Yeah.
So that's a tough team to get shut out by. Especially when you look bad
Especially
on
with
offense
Bijan.
last week. Yeah, and Bijan Robinson, I think that's the reason why I picked him 5.5 is I think I said that Bijan could beat him alone. And he tried his best. I mean, he had 72 yards and did he have any catches? Yeah, he had a couple catches.
He had a couple catches. He's the only guy that can get down open. You see,
Yeah.
the Panthers didn't allow the Falcons past the 30-yard line.
Yeah. Yeah, and we saw some Kirk Cousins. They said it was because the game was already over and injury stuff. They didn't want Penix to get injured. But we might see him creep his head around a couple more times this season.
Definitely lurking. It opened the
Well,
door.
quarterback competition.
It
It's
definitely
way
opened
too
the
early
door.
for stuff like that.
I think we said in the
Like the fact that
preseason.
before we're now discussing the fact that Kirk Cousins might play this season. That's not a good spot to be in.
I think that we had in the preseason we were saying with the Falcons like even if Penix has a couple bad games, like you can't give up on him. You can't sub in Kirk Cousins yet. You got to let him just ride out the full season. And I think that's of course that's still where I stand there. They need to do that. But they with all the first round picks and all the great wide receivers that they seem to have had and offensive weapons to have none of it work out against this game is pretty appalling.
I mean, maybe it is just like a total one-off, and it was just a stinker that we'll look back on and say, how did they lose that badly to the Panthers? But it's obviously you're sick to your stomach as a fan this week.
Our buddy Thomas had a good point. It was the Panthers Super Bowl. Like they were all over social media, just even before
I've never seen
the
a
game started.
team post more about beating a team.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. So they really were fired up. It was their home opener too. All the NFC South teams are rivals. Like they all hate each other, and like I don't think anyone cares.
Do they?
Yeah, I think so. Like according to our Falcons
The
source.
Falcons do. Like the Panthers and the Bucks hate each other.
Maybe it's just Atlanta hates everybody.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if the Panthers or Bucks
Chip on their shoulders.
Yeah, and I don't think the Panthers are like getting up for the Saints games either.
Oh, good for them.
I guess we'll see throughout the season. But all right. Next one, should we go Texans?
Real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Scale of 1 to 10 for both of you. How confident are you in Penix for the rest of the season? 1 being no, Kirk will be starting by the end of the season. 10 will be, playoff race.
4?
Oh, I was gonna go 6.
6.
Yeah, this is bad, but
I've got to a 5.
I'm chalking it up to a one-off. I think that you still gotta have confidence in your guy. I guess we'll see against the Commanders.
Who do they have next?
They got the Commanders.
Commanders.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the Bills. That's a late game too.
Oof.
7:15.
What is that on like a Monday?
Hey, doubleheader.
I don't know.
7:15.
I don't even know what day of the week October 13th is.
I'm trying to look for it now.
October 13th.
Oh, they have a bye week 5. That's why I'm lost.
It's a Monday, yeah.
Oh, it is a doubleheader. So that's and then it's Bears Commanders. Yeah, it's
another Monday double.
Why?
I don't know. There's too many. There's too many of these doubleheaders.
I think they got to keep doing them because there's no bye weeks.
Maybe. All right. The Texans. I think I'd be a little more. Are we more concerned about Stroud or Penix?
It's a good question because the sample size is much bigger with Stroud.
Yes.
Like this is all.
But he's also had a lot more good games.
Agreed.
Yes, yes. If you ask me today who I would rather have, I would still take Stroud.
Yeah, I think I'm
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
that's the question.
Yes, I think I'm leaning towards that as well.
But it doesn't feel good.
No. And I
No,
do like
yeah,
I
I'm
do
not
blame the
happy with
O-line.
either.
The O-line is awful. Like it's really bad. They have no run game.
And what were they thinking was going to happen with the O line? They had one guy that committed a lot of penalties, but was still a good player, and then they got rid of that one guy for pennies on the dollar, and we're like, yeah, cool, this will work.
I have no
Like,
idea.
that's just bad.
It's odd personnel decisions. That's one of those things where it's like,
Yeah.
even if you're like ready to move on from Tunzel, from whatever was going on in the locker room, and people were just sick of the penalties, like maybe let's take a step back and think about what it's going to look like without him.
Mhm.
Like you don't just replace a guy like that, especially
Yeah,
when 4 other starters are already.
and they drafted those 2 wide receivers in the second and third round, and they've done absolutely nothing. It's absolutely nothing. I mean, they're throwing to Xavier Hutchinson more. Christian Kirk's finally back. They were throwing to him more. Um, so it is concerning, and I hawk it up to the O line. Um, but it's not going to get easier. Like the Jaguars are not a great
That stink.
defense. Yeah, so when they face the Ravens, when they face the Seahawks, 49ers, I mean, the Niners might have no players by then, so who knows? But when they face teams like that, or the Broncos, like they're gonna get destroyed. It's not even gonna be close.
Yeah. It's also a shame because their defense has been keeping them in every game so far.
Yep.
Yeah,
You know they've scored like 38 points this year.
Yes. Only I was looking
In
at it when we were
games.
doing the
The
0 and 3 and 3 and
last
0.
NFL.
It's
Yeah.
it's second to the Saints. Bad. Just bad
Yeah.
news.
that's bad.
Um, I guess on the Jaguar side, you know, good win, good divisional win for them. They still didn't look
They
great.
won.
Yeah, they won, but they didn't look great. Um, and I
So
mean,
the
Brian
so the
Thomas,
Jags
Jesus.
so the Jags just stayed where they were in the draft and not traded up for this unicorn of a pick, and they just like maybe picked a player that could have affected their team a little more.
I think that's like that's the main discourse. They gave up first next year. They gave up the second. That was Quinshon Judkins, and then it was Mason Graham, the 5th overall pick. And Mason Graham and Judkins have looked great in their games.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
it's one of those I think we have to check in, especially like maybe in a year or two, but they might give up. This might be a top pick if they can't produce offense like they should be. Um,
I
so
think that's such an underrated part about teams trading away their first round picks is like if you're not in a situation where you know you're going to be a playoff team, your pick's not going to
Mhm.
be like till late 20s. I don't know how smart it is to trade these picks away. Like with how expensive these players you're usually trading for are too, because everyone gets re-signed nowadays until teams can't, and that's when they the big trades come in. Like, I
mhm.
don't know how worth it is for these obviously for the higher teams. They need that one piece. I think it's great. You're not going to get a Micah Parsons in the late 20s like the Packers. Like that, I
Yeah,
think it's a great idea. But I
You
don't know
might
for these
though, according to
worst
Jerry
teams.
Jones.
Yeah, true. Now they can get 2 of them.
Yeah.
I
But yeah,
think
especially when those first round picks are for other first round picks. Like it's one
yeah.
thing
Yeah,
to trade 2 firsts for like a stud guy right now. It's another to trade up for Travis Hunter, who's never taken an NFL snap. Or
Now I was
what
just about to
Atlanta
say
did with
it seems like they needed a better plan to like it's like they it seems like they didn't have a good enough plan to trade up for this pick.
hmm
yeah. I mean, hopefully it doesn't end up just being like it was a new GM trying to make a splash.
Yeah.
I
what
did
it
like
feels
again,
like.
it's week, so we'll see. But it very well could end up blowing it up in their face.
I do like I'm still rooting for Trav. Like I want him to succeed on one side of the ball or the other. Huh?
I
100%.
don't know why. People hate him. I
Yeah, I
don't know
know.
why.
I don't understand it either. But yeah, I mean, the number one, when you look up Travis Hunter, the number one headline is the Jaguars bet big, and through 3 weeks, the usage hasn't matched up the cost. And I think they were expecting getting 2 players out of their first round pick next year instead of just 1 player. And
3/4 of one.
yeah, yeah, and that's really what it's been. So, I'm rooting for him, but we'll see how that goes. I think by the end of the season, we'll know. I mean, of course, we'll know if that, because they could be giving up a top 10 pick. So, we'll know what the cost is for sure. All right. I had Rams Eagles, which was the game of the day, and I had the under. Of course I picked the under.
Whenever 3 minutes into the third quarter,
Yeah,
maybe 6 minutes.
pretty much. The Eagles, I like the theory that they are just trying to use Jalen Hurts as little as possible, but I think as much as they love spite against the rest of the league, they love winning more. So they were just like, all right, let's actually wake up our offense, throw the
You can
ball.
throw.
Yeah, yeah, literally, like we took the training wheels off. It's time to let you rip. And
But next week they're going right back on. So don't think this is a 2-week thing, Jalen.
and it's funny, like I was listening after we did the pod to more podcasts, and I was like, man, Forbes being on the Rams, really, that's like AJ Brown's just gonna eat him. Just gonna eat him for lunch. And that's exactly what happened. And
He his way with everybody. Like some of those catches were not even on Forbes, and like the one where he just like threw the guy off of him, like as he was pulling down the ball. I don't think that was even Forbes.
well, their secondary is the weakest that
Yep.
I think it's been in a long time. And their offense still looks
Devontae was
good.
Reading those guys.
Who?
Devontae, he was like every time I clicked on that game on Red Zone, he was another big catch here, deep catch there.
Well, Puka Nacua, like that guy's the man. Until he eventually
Yeah.
injures himself again. He's
Yeah.
he's the freaking man. But I mean, we gotta shout out the Eagles defense, that punt return block, or that field goal
Their special
block.
teams,
Yeah.
they blocked 2 kicks that game.
Oh, did they block a second one?
What's that happened?
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like they got a fingertip on it. Like they were both clean blocks.
Apparently they
back-to-back.
had Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis lined up on the Rams rookie lineman that does their field goal stuff, and they just double teamed the hell out of him and killed him.
Yeah, that'll do it. Jordan Davis, what, he's 300 to 280, so probably 300.
A lot less
No,
than
he's
he was
like
last year.
350.
And
He looks thin.
he
for how
does.
big he is.
And 18 miles per hour running down
This
to
is
get that
6
that return.
That's a truck.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
a car.
That's a silver cruising down cruising down the field.
But I mean, the Eagles offense woke up. They had a good game, and I was sad that the Rams couldn't finish this off. But
It's a bad loss.
yeah,
It's a bad
it was a
loss,
bad
especially
loss.
for a team that they have not been able to beat. I don't know what the stat is, but they have not beaten them in a while. And I mean, through 3 weeks, the Rams have looked like one of the best teams in the NFC. Obviously, we know the Eagles are one of the best teams in the NFC. Like they could be jockeying for playoff position. And come the end of the season, like that one's gonna sting when you're up 26-7 or whatever it was. I will say at halftime too, like when Jalen had 20 yards, in my head I was like, maybe he can't throw. Like maybe they actually like maybe they just aren't good. And then the first drive, well, actually, he fumbled the first drive out of the half, and then they go down and score. And I was like, all right, so like, he's just rusty. He hasn't had to throw a pass more than 10 yards down the field in a year.
It must
Did
be
we ever
nice to
get
be the
an
Eagles, just to turn it up
update
like that.
Did we get an update on Lane Johnson's injury? Because their O-line functioned completely differently without him in there
Yes.
when he went out early. Like Jalen, I've never seen Jalen get hit like that ever. From Bama
I
to
think
here,
he's-
like
Yeah, I think he's fine. It was a stinger.
Okay,
I don't know
Avoided
what
major injury. Will
that's good.
play week 4. Yeah,
Good.
stinger. All right. And then we have Brock Bowers,
what?
your
Oh,
last wise
picks.
pick. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only guy who's open all day was Trey Tucker.
Yeah.
Had like 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns. But they were in the Raiders' backfield all game. Like Gino did not have much time to throw, and shockingly, they actually did it a nice job on Bowers and Jacoby Myers. Really, our secondary had a huge bounce back game from last week in Green Bay, and the front four was obviously getting home a lot. I think they had 5+ sacks on Gino. So yeah, it was. I mean, defensively they looked awesome outside of like a couple plays where they just totally lost Trey Tucker. Um, but yeah, obviously I'm glad that they bottled up Bowers. I was very surprised, wondering if he still has a nagging injury. Because
I
even on
think
like the
so.
plays that he was open and could have made plays, he just didn't look as explosive. Um, yeah, it was a great day for the Commanders defense.
Yeah, and special teams.
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, from the opening kick, like Debo took it back 60 yards. They had great starting field position. Obviously, Jalen Lane, the punt return touchdown was pretty awesome. Um, that one kind of sucked because they threw a flag instantly. So like you watch the whole play and you're like, wow, this is so cool, but we already know that it's coming back, and then you realize that it's on the defense because the guy stepped out of bounds. So they said this on part of my take too, but like we got robbed of watching an awesome punt return because you just assumed that it was coming back. But yeah, I mean that's a real weapon to have. I'm kind of surprised that they have Debo returning kicks, but with the new rules, like it's a pretty it's a pretty significant thing when you have a guy
Oh
like
yeah.
him.
Made for Debo too.
It is made for Debo. He's a hoss.
He is.
Yeah.
He
He's
is
at the head of
horse.
steel on those kickoffs. He's pretty fun to watch.
Is Terry gonna be okay? I saw your guys' injury report and it's big.
His makes no sense because he was out on the sideline at the end of the game, and when Luke McCaffrey scored a touchdown, he like ran down the sideline to go get the ball because it's his first NFL touchdown. But now he's getting a second opinion on his quad. Everybody's like, how is he injured if he ran down the like we watched him run down the sideline after the injury?
Maybe that's where
I
he
don't
heard it.
know. Right, just aggravated it. That would be infuriating. But yeah, he's getting a second opinion, which doesn't sound good. Um, I don't know. Right now, I don't expect him to play week 4.
What about Jalen? Jaden.
Nobody knows. The guys on the radio this morning said that apparently he's been in a brace and it's more significant than we were led on to believe, but those guys are sometimes full of crap. Um, but they're not. They're keeping everything close to the chest right now. Again, don't necessarily expect him to play this week, but I honestly
What
have no idea.
what is the injury again?
Sprained knee.
Mm.
I don't know. I'm imagining with a sprained knee, there's a pretty big range of like how severe it can be. The
Yeah.
Twitter doctors say he should be fine, and if it was the playoffs, he'd be playing. But somebody also said that he'd be surprised if he missed last week, and he did. So I don't know if I should be trusting Twitter doctors.
This is another. It would be another Marcus Mariota revenge game. So he looked good in the first revenge
It's,
game. So it would be. It's not the worst sign in the world having him be your backup. That
I feel like
fumble
2
was
games
very
is also
funny.
the max that you can like really rely on Marcus too.
Hmm.
Like I think he was like the most efficient passer in the NFL Sunday. But they also ran the ball so well, like they're not gonna be able to do that in Atlanta. And um, I don't know what the clock is definitely ticking on him looking that good. He'll keep him in games still.
Hmm.
He did have a hilariously bad fumble.
That was awesome.
It was so funny.
It was really funny. He thought he was in Oregon.
Okay.
The running attack did look much better this week. I mean, the Raiders defense was getting shredded, and they also the Raiders cannot run the ball whatsoever.
Oh, it's did you see the stat of like it's all the running backs listed by percent of yards that come after contact? And
Is it?
Genty's is like 102%.
Oof,
Like he literally does not have a yard from scrimmage where he's untouched.
oof. It's
It,
it's looking
it is
more and
like
more.
you notice because he'll like it's every carry. There's guys like already in the backfield, and he had a couple awesome runs too. Like
Mhm.
I wouldn't be worried about him, but it's a tough watch. They get pushed around.
It's similar to the Jaguars conversation that we just had. They didn't trade up for this pick, but it was a luxury pick for a team that did not have the luxury of drafting a running back at 6.
We see with
So,
Yeah.
Gino too. It's like we trade for this guy who has had decent years the last couple of years in Seattle, and then he just has no time to really sling it.
mhm.
I think Pete Carroll just fell in love with all these high character guys that want to win. He's like, oh yeah, come on
Yeah.
in. You want to win, we'll win. But you have to have a good team.
Yeah, and it's specifically a good offensive line, which they do not have whatsoever. All right. Well, those were the wise picks. Honestly, sorry for giving them out this week. Bad week for us. We're still 500 on the
I
year
would
though, so don't quit on the guys yet.
This week I felt like we got basically everything wrong. And I tried to save face on Monday night by taking the Ravens, which I shouldn't have done because I should have been like, you know what, I've got everything wrong. I'm very confident in this Ravens game. I should have been like, you know what, I've gotten everything wrong, so I'm gonna avoid it. But I didn't, and then I lost that.
I also bet on the Ravens, so I was in the same boat.
I
Um,
also bet on the Ravens.
all right, let's get to get some other games that happened this week. We can talk about the Pats for a second. They had that game. They could have easily won that game. 5 fumbles, 4 fumbles. Um, it's a terrible, terrible stat to have. Ramondre, after I apologized last week, and he's just snip, snap, snip, snap. He's now just back to being trash. Um, I mean, 2 fumbles, one basically on the goal line, like basically in the end zone fumbling. Um, yeah, the pass blocking's been good, but the run blocking has not been good for this team so far. They need to switch up something with the run game. I think Stevenson's got to be in the doghouse, right? Like he's got to be in the doghouse. Um, and then Drake May had a fumble. He had a tip pick in the end zone. And then the last play of the game for the Pats, Pop Douglas catches the ball. All he has to do is fall forward, and they get a first down on 4th and 1, and he jumps backwards. Um, I I was told that like from a different angle, like he tried to avoid a man, but just fall forward and get the first down there. That was brutal to watch. The
Is sorry, go.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna well, I say I feel like Drake May is like starting to get into like early Justin Herbert territory, where
That's
it's
fine
like
with me.
every week it's like we have nothing bad to say about Drake May, but they've lost 2 games now, and both times there's been complaints about basically every other position group.
Well, he has played well. Like this is like unbiasedly, even trying to avoid all bias. He has played well, and there hasn't been a lot. Like there was a couple misses in the Raiders game that were his fault. Um, but this last game, like I don't think you can blame Drake May for this. And the man, I don't know what to do because he could be in that Justin Herbert territory, which I would be perfectly fine with because then maybe once we get the O line completely set and good receivers, then we're looking like Justin Herbert is looking right now. I hope it doesn't take 5 years though, and a big extension and a couple coaches. Um, but 23-year-old quarterback, there's not much more you can ask him to do. I guess besides, like he can make some more plays on his feet, but he still got almost 50 yards rushing this game. So, um, and led the team in rushing. So it's like I don't really know what I think the offensive play calling needs to be better. That is when we got McDaniels back, like I was like, all right, we're gonna get an adult offensive coordinator. Um, but he's running it like it's 2010 and it's 2025. And there's no creativity. There's no pizzazz. Nothing like you saw in Lions Ravens game at all. Nothing you even saw in the Bears game. I mean, it just seems like we're running 2010 football out there, and it's the game has evolved, and Josh McDaniels needs to evolve too here. That's all I got. They
That
looked
one was
good in their
another game
uniforms.
that every time the red zone clicked, it was like, man, another fumble. I was like, man, another fumble.
Yeah, yeah, it was
I
bad.
couldn't help but laugh just thinking about our preseason pods where you're like, at what point in the season is Ramondre Stevenson just gonna fumble so much that like he has to be benched?
Week 4, we made it, or 3, week 3, we made it. He has in the
I also
past.
saw.
Oh, were you gonna say the
Yeah, go
stat in like
ahead.
the past 9 games? He has,
Yeah, I had something else about Vrabel.
I think in the past 7 games, he's got like 9 fumbles or something like that. It's absolutely insane. It's it's absolutely insane. Apparently, he was like holding around a weighted football this all past off season to try to reduce fumbling. That didn't help. Um,
Wouldn't that? How'd that help? Like your grip, I guess, would be tighter.
yeah, I don't. He's holding it close. I don't know, man. I don't
To
know.
try to real football.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe, yeah, maybe it's not like maybe when they punch it out, he's like, "Why isn't it heavier?" It's like, 'cause you're just holding a normal football.
It feels like a beach ball out there.
Oh man. Like the Steelers didn't even play well. Like I thought
No.
if anything we were gonna lose to Rodgers lighting us up, and he didn't even get close to 200 yards.
I don't think he's. Yeah, I don't think he's lighting anybody else up.
No. Um. All right. Yeah, that's all I got for the Pats.
I did forget that Vrabel coached Derrick Henry and had Dion Lewis start over him for like a year and a half. I saw that today. I was like, oh yeah, that's that little nugget.
We're
Enjoy that one.
surprisingly undisciplined as well. Like the tackling got a little better this week, but the O line, the penalties are still bad. So I mean, we like if you look at the stats, like we completely destroyed the Steelers and lost by 7 points.
What happens when you turn it
That's
over?
the way the Steelers do it. That's the Steelers' way. Play worse than your
Right.
opponent and still somehow win.
I mean, 5 sacks allowed.
They're like yards. I saw all the NFL teams sorted by like net yards, and Pittsburgh's like in the bottom third.
That's
I
so
mean,
frustrating.
that's what happens when 5 turnovers happen. I mean, we almost I can't even look at these stats. It's awful. We were 4
Thank
for
God you
5
guys
on
aren't playing
4th
like a
down.
great
Austin
offense.
Love.
Huh? I
But
heard Ethan. Chris, what'd you say?
oh, I said at least you didn't watch it.
Yes,
Live.
that is, yeah, I would be in agony if I watched it. That's true. Um, and it is good that we didn't face a good offense because we would have lost 49-14. All right. Let's also I think I was like petering on must win before this game. The schedule gets much easier after this. The Pats besides the Bills,
Yeah, you
but they play
you said 11-6.
yeah, 11-6 is still possible. If we somebody had the map up, if we lose to the Bills twice, lose to the Buccaneers, we lose to the Ravens, we still end 11-6. We can do that. And all the other teams that I didn't name are pretty cupcake. So hopefully hopefully that comes into fruition. All right. So what are the other what are some of the best games that I missed on Sunday here? What should we bounce around to next?
I think the 1 o'clock games, if we want to get it chronologically.
Bucks Jets was a 1 o'clock game, right? That game was great.
Yes,
That
I
game
did
was
see
ridiculous.
stuff about this game. I saw the block kick by the Jets.
Did you see Aaron Glenn's dancing?
Yes, I did see Aaron Glenn dancing.
That was so poetic. Like you just knew that they weren't going to win the game. There's a minute and a half left, and the Bucks
Yeah.
are getting the ball right. It was like the only way they were going to win is if they blocked another kick. Which I guess in the Eagles game, like as that was happening, we thought maybe. It was the most block kicks I've ever seen in like a witching
Ever.
hour. It was so weird.
Yeah, that is strange, especially after the leverage shit that we saw last Sunday. So it was a funny, like, it was almost poetic where the Broncos were just like, come on, man. Like all these other teams were able to block these kicks. And
I did see a film review too. It's like technically that should have been a penalty. Like he had his hand on the center or something.
see, when the leverage comes last week, like it seemed like the refs just took it off this week. Like they just took a break from using the leverage. Like what's going on here? Yeah, you can't give the Bucks any time. Clearly, you can't give them any time to
The
to come back
Bucks
and
have
score.
become one of those like find a way to win teams.
And they have like their whole team's injured. They lost
Yeah,
Mike
they're not a
Evans this
good- not
game.
great.
Their O-line's busted.
Godwin
What'd you
will
say,
be
Ethan?
back.
So they haven't had Chris Godwin or Tristan Wirfs all season.
Yep. Those guys should be back soon. So that'll be a little bit of reinforcement. But I'm pretty sure their whole offensive line is out of position because of all the injuries. So that's always tough. But I guess when you have Baker Mayfield down there, like he's dealt with worse. Like he's like they're even the backups for the Bucks, like he's dealt with worse. So clearly they always find a way to win. How did the Jets score 21?
They have the deepest team at receiver in the NFL, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I think that's
Yeah.
why they went with Ibuka. Just keep getting him there.
Ibuka's so good too.
He is phenomenal. How did the Jets score 21 in the fourth besides the kick? Tyrod Taylor just turned it on for a quarter.
Tyrod Taylor to Garrett Wilson,
Mm.
and then another one to Alan Lazard.
I can't believe he led. I mean, I guess the Bucks defensive line we like a lot, but I can't believe he led the team in rushing. Tyrod Taylor, old man out there.
Yeah, former Raven, GOAT.
Garrett Wilson, 10 catches. That's what happens when you have a quarterback.
He had a good week one.
That is true. He did have a good week one. All right. Let's we got Colts Titans. Yeah.
Didn't look good.
No, my Titans did not look good. The pick six right at the first play of the game was a bad omen. I mean, I guess congrats to the Colts. I guess we'll be doing we can do the rankings that we have pretty soon. I guess congrats to the Colts. I mean, they're 3-0 now. Jonathan Taylor though, he's the man. He's so good.
He makes that whole team go.
Completely agree.
Yeah, Daniel Jones' stat line is like exactly how you would draw up a Daniel Jones victory.
Yep.
Like for the game, 18 for 25 for 220, only one touchdown, no picks. Like that's the perfect Daniel Jones that you're going to get. Don't turn the ball over. Be efficient. Like don't need just slaying it out there. Let Jonathan Taylor do his thing. Like let the Titans beat themselves.
Back in that Phillip Rivers model, none of these high upside guys that they don't know what to do with.
I was gonna say, I wonder how this affects like high upside players, like how Anthony Richardson was in the draft. Like, there's no way we see one of the we don't see the Florida quarterback go number 4 this year. I forget his name. DJ Ladway. Well, he stinks now. Yeah, that's true. He stinks now. But
all the good quarterbacks stink.
I know.
Yeah.
Lenore's has good passes, but yeah, the team sucks.
I think there's so many like coaches and GMs and offensive coordinators that think like, no, we could get this guy to work. I know, didn't work for these guys, but we could make this work. I don't think those are ever going to not be there. So I think these guys are going to keep getting drafted way too early, played way too early, and then given up on way too early.
You ever seen Arrested Development?
Bits and pieces.
Tobias.
Yeah, Tobias. He looks over. He's like, "Well, did this work for anyone else?" Never.
It worked for us.
Yes. And then I guess
like some people.
Yes, it does.
I mean,
but
even like Lamar though was a way better prospect than Richardson.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I think.
When I
And
think
also, he
that
didn't play his first 8 weeks. He, kind of took it slow with him. He didn't play week 1 of year
Mhm.
1.
I think Lamar falling in that draft is why everyone's now like trying to catch up. Like we can't let
Yeah.
this guy fall all the way again. We can't let a guy like this to fall all the way again. And I guess it didn't like you didn't see it with Milrow. He didn't go like he went in the third round. Like that's pretty that was
Yeah, but
pretty kind of
Lamar won a Heisman.
yeah, that's
Milrow
true.
was
And he wanted it Louisville too. It's not like he was at Bama,
Right.
Georgia, Notre Dame, any of those bigger schools.
Yeah,
Whenever.
yeah. And
Could name another other than Jair. Name one more player from Louisville that was there.
Luther Burden was there for a
Mackay
season. There you go.
Beck.
He wasn't? Oh, he was always on. No, sorry, I'm getting confused. Luther Burden was always on Mizzou, wasn't he? He might have been in Louisville season. I don't remember.
I don't know.
Anyways,
I got my one.
yeah, you got Becton. Hey, there you go. But I think like that they're now just like chasing it, like even though they didn't have a great college season, let's see what they could do in the NFL and stuff like that, and it just hasn't worked out. So I guess like all the hate that the Colts got for starting Daniel Jones, like all their fans are clearly happy now. Like they're all eating crow kind of. I mean, they're all excited because they're 3-0, but they were all. I mean, we were pounding our chest
Being
for
a
him too.
Colts fan, did you see This Is Our Colts guy on the side of the road picking up trash?
No,
Some random person was like just met This Is Our Colts guy. He was on the side of the road picking up trash.
why was
like
he?
full on?
Why was he picking up trash? Just
He's a good civilian.
good guy, I guess.
Or he was a bad
Yeah.
civilian.
Yeah, I was gonna say
mandated
like he's
trash
he,
No, yeah, he was in Colts gear.
okay, all right.
Unless
It wasn't
they
in
let him
orange.
do that for good behavior.
Oh,
I'm This Is Our Colts guy. Wear your Reggie Wayne jersey in their community service.
let's we're jumping around here. Let's go to the Browns. Got their first victory
Yes.
against the Packers out of all teams. We talked about it a little bit that the Browns defense is going to keep them in games, and it finally I didn't think it would come this quickly, but it got them to a victory already.
Yeah, I mean, this was like
Talk about the Packers playing
horrible collapse.
down to their opposition so much.
We also got a blocked field goal, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
The fact that the Browns scored 13 points in one quarter against them is shocking.
And
Oh,
when you have
yeah.
an elite quarterback like that, you can do a lot.
Talking about Joe. Talking about
Oh yeah.
so basically was that blocked kick their first points? Did they run that back?
They didn't score on it.
Okay. Oh, I see it.
Oh my-
Quentin Judkins got the touchdown. It does make me mad that the whole offseason it was like, oh, the Pats got the good Ohio State running back. What were the Browns doing? And then now that Judkins is here, it's like he's just automatically better than Travion Henderson.
Well, he's getting carries.
He is. I mean, Henderson did get 11 carries last week for I think 28 yards, 30 yards. So maybe it's something with the Browns O line, but Quentin Johnson looks good, or Judkins looks good out there.
The interception
It
that Jordan
does.
Love threw was also terrible in the fourth quarter.
Oh no.
It was bad.
So they went It was Browns field goal, then interception, Browns touchdown, block field goal, then Browns go down and kick a field goal. I did see somebody complaining that on the spike, the center spotted the ball in the wrong spot. And I think even though it was 2 yards behind where it should have been, the ref should have stepped in, spotted the ball, which would have cost the time to run out. But like, I don't know, maybe don't throw a pick and get a field goal blocked in the last 2 minutes of the game.
They score more than 10
Yeah,
points.
don't make it come down to the ref not spotting the ball.
Yeah, I mean, they swallowed up Josh Jacobs, who I think everyone was talking about. He had like 11, maybe 11 plus games with a touchdown. Doesn't have a touchdown this week. I'm surprised that was in our
2
touchdown
yards a
parlay.
carry.
Yeah, a shy of 2 yards per carry. Um, man, just play it down to competition. Like they were never too high, never too low. Chris, we said that on Friday, and Packers they got way too high.
You see the Myles Garrett clip going against what's the tackle's name? Rashid something on the Packers,
Rasheed
and he
Walker, or
beats
whatever
him.
his name is.
Yeah, he beats him so clean off the block. He can like hear him scream.
Oh, didn't he say like Jordan?
Run!
Yeah, I did see that. I did see that. He's the scary like as much as Parsons got all the hype, he's the scariest MFer in the league. Like there's no way I'd ever, if I'm a quarterback.
Yeah, I
I'd
think
ever
honestly
miss him.
biggest winner of the day was Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
He's a beast. All right. The late game sucked besides the Chargers, and then I
Broncos
guess
game was awesome.
yeah, I was gonna say the
I
Chargers
mean, it was
game.
kind of like the whole game, but yeah, the ending of that. We talked about a team like putting themselves in a position to win and then not following through the thing. I feel like Bo Nix
Broncos
had
now.
multiple times in that game where he could have put it away.
Couldn't get it done.
So the Broncos now, in both the games they've lost, they've trailed 0 seconds in the fourth quarter. They've lost both games.
Jeez.
That's not a great stat.
No,
I
it's
mean
not a great
Herbert,
stat at
like
all.
he was awesome. Those last two drives, but like their game plan against him worked. Like they swallowed him up all game pretty much, and then like you had two chances to put the thing away and couldn't do it. I don't know where I'd be at with Bo Nix, to be honest. I know it's week 3,
He hasn't looked good.
but it does kind of feel like he's just becoming the Bo Nix that we thought we were going to get. Like
I
the
agree.
one touchdown chunk of his yards was on a totally broken coverage where Sutton was just like wide open at the end of the half. I don't know. You feeling queasy?
Yeah, I wouldn't be comfortable if I have Bo Nix stuck in here. The Chargers now 3-0, all in the division, really putting themselves in a place to win this division. And this was a Chargers game that they were just bound to lose if it wasn't this year. If it wasn't for Madison Beer,
Yeah.
they just would have been this would have been an ultimate L in a devastating way because they would have come all the way back and then like miss that field goal.
The field goal would have gotten blocked.
Yeah, block kick, touchdown.
So I'm happy for the Chargers. I think they've had years and years of misery. So coming in here and getting some wins, 3-0, it's good for the Chargers. Saints,
it is
we don't
also
need.
like I will say we were talking about the crowd before this game about how it'll be all Bronco fans, and I will say like that was a full stadium, and there was orange in there obviously, but definitely more Chargers supporters than I realized. So it's nice to see that for a team that always gets ragged on for not having fans.
That is nice. I guess that's what happens when you beat 2 division opponents in week 1 and 2. Yeah.
People should.
Saints, we don't just like the game. Our discussion's over in 2 minutes, so we don't have to talk about that game. That was
I will say we tried to talk ourselves into the Saints and Rattler on Friday.
We did,
and that was a huge mistake.
Yeah, it was.
I wish that segment of the pod could just be deleted.
How far into the season?
As soon as it started, like they got stopped on a 4th down on the first drive, and I was like, "This isn't good." And then down 30 to something.
Ethan, I know you're a Shuck guy, but like Rattler hasn't even looked that bad. Like this was not a great
guy, but like if your quarterback doesn't win you a game over an entire season samples, like at some point you got to try something else, right? Unless they're trying to lose.
Jared Goff didn't win his rookie year. Right?
He won a game. They didn't go 0-16.
Well, hey, he's only at 0-9. We're not at a full season yet.
9. Say that again. 0-9.
I know. It's not good.
Do something else.
But like but then you're just gonna what if he doesn't win, and then all of a sudden you're just like cycling through guys?
Okay, then you're cycling through guys anyways. It's a bad team. Be bad. Embrace being bad.
I think that's what they're doing. I think that's exactly what they're doing. I mean, why are they even going for it on 4th down in their own like what was that that was in their own territory, right?
I mean, at that point, go for it down every time. Fuck it.
Yeah, it
This
was
is who we are.
midfield ish.
Yeah. Yeah, for Rattler. Um, all right, and then Mac Jones, he got a victory after a safety, which was not even his fault. It was a holding penalty. The only thing I have to say about this game is I saw the quote afterwards from Mac Jones that when he threw the interception, all the defensive players on the Cardinals were like, "Oh, like great play, like absolute, like awesome job," and he was like, "You know, he caught the ball. I threw it directly to him." So I guess like
The guy that knows he's the backup.
after a win, like you can laugh about that stuff, but I thought that was a hilarious quote where he's like, I threw it right to him. So like you could call it great play all you want, but he just caught the football. um and then the only thing else I have is that Christian McCaffrey is the last man standing, and out
Who
of
would have thought?
anyone,
Ironic.
yeah. And he's just
Yourself.
doing it week after week. He's amazing.
Was Ayuk supposed to come back mid-October?
I think so. Ricky Pearsall looked good.
Blicky Pearsall?
Licky, no, Ricky.
No, Blicky.
Oh, Blicky
Blicky.
Pearsall. Did you see the picture of him at Arizona State?
Nah.
What, like all clean shaven in the
Yeah,
suit?
he just looks like a guy that would like pledge your frat. Like he just it was crazy. Um, but
I saw a commentary on that I don't think I'm gonna repeat on the
yeah, so did I.
podcast.
We definitely don't need to repeat that. All right, and then the Chiefs game is the last game we got to talk about. And then we'll quickly rank our 3-0 and 0-3 teams. Um, any thought this kind of was a game that happened. Like that's kind of how like the Russell Wilson looked like
It was
trash. Mahomes
it was
completed a deep
exactly what
ball
we'd
finally.
expected both teams to look like,
Yeah, that's kind
honestly.
of my takeaway too. And now they're going to Dart. They're going to Dart against the
Yep.
Chargers. So the Russell Wilson experiment is over. Um, it felt
He's
like they
supposed
could
to
have
be
just.
like top 10 in passing, right? With that week 2 game alone,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure he
which is
is.
not funny. That's like the Sam Howell year where he was top 5 in passing like all season, and he was the bottom 5 quarterback.
They could have won this game if they just subbed in Dart early.
You think?
Watching this game, I went to work there was Raiders fans there and a Commanders fan there. So both people hoping both teams would lose. And like watching the frustration every time the Chiefs do something good, it's like these Raiders fans are like dying. Every time the Giants do something good, these Commanders fans are dying. I've never seen neither of a fan of a team in a game and see these people so excited about what's happening in the game that their team not even playing. It was nuts.
I mean, they have something with Scatabo, and they were at that. I just see the
Yeah.
clips of Russell Wilson at the goals to go in goal situations, and like he's hitting the the crossbar like 4 times in a row.
Such
Not a
an
good look.
awesome sequence when they got it down to like the 30. And just not even close to completing a pass. I think that was Dable. That was his breaking point. He watched that and he's like,
Yeah.
I literally can't watch this anymore.
I don't know how you could.
What do you think Dayball said in like the headset each time after? Russ, don't throw it out of the back of the end zone again. Gotta get a completion here. Does it again. Russ, come on, don't do it again. Like 4 times in a row is crazy.
It was bad. And then I guess the other like big highlight of this game was Mahomes with the fumble recovery. That was cool, I guess. Like good for Mahomes.
There were 2 fumbles, I think, where like Pacheco just ran this whack ass route and Mahomes throws it backwards. Like, why is that in the playbook where the running back runs the opposite direction he needs to? Then why do you throw? Like you see him behind you, like let me huck this back there. He's got it.
And then it looked like
I
Pacheco
don't
just
get
didn't
that.
even care both times. He was just like, "Oh yeah, like someone will get it." It's like, "No,
Man,
you
it's
got
complete.
He's a weird case.
it was a strange game, but
There's some bad all 22 clips on Pacheco.
Yeah, they might just
When
bench him
he
full time for
just
Hunt.
runs into the left tackle.
Yeah, I saw
Maybe
that.
like
That was
the ball
awesome.
just breaks. Like,
That was great.
not great. Not great.
All right. Let's do our quick rankings because Ethan, I know you got to go in 10. Of 3-0 teams and 0-3 teams. Which is more fun to start with? I'm not
Let's
sure.
take out the trash first.
All right, we'll take out the trash. So I will start the best 0-3 team. I had the Texans.
I actually have
Yep.
the Dolphins.
Oh, okay.
I don't think the
What?
Dolphins.
The best 0
They've
3
played
team.
like week 1 was a nightmare, but since then, like the Pats game was a 1-score game. The Bills game, like they were threatening there when Tua threw that pick. I feel like we buried them a little bit too quickly.
I like
It's
that
just
take.
because the vibes were so low.
You might
I could be
be.
dead wrong on that.
That's true.
Like, I know the Pats game. Like, I feel like we're not giving them enough credit. Not that they
You might be the
deserve
only
any
person in
credit there.
America who thinks that. So I kind of like
I
it.
think I am.
I think
I
that's
think
why
I
I
am.
like it. Because
We'll
that's
have
this is
a
like the
long
one
week
The
take.
for
RG3 pin right here.
a mini bye. I don't know who they have upcoming week 4, but
They got the Panthers
A
week 4,
loss.
so could be a
we
get
go.
right
Oh,
game.
Look at
Yeah,
why
that.
not?
we could see
Look
him
at
as
that.
2 and 3. I actually like
Now,
that
if they
take.
lose that game, what happens?
No, yeah, then they plummet. Then they're 6 on this list.
Well, that
I've technically.
and Ethan, who'd you have numbers in 1?
I had the Texans.
All right, number 2, I have the Giants. Now that with Dart,
With Dart.
yeah, now with Dart. I like their defense as well. The Texans thing was a defensive pick too. And now that I want to move up the Dolphins, but I'm gonna keep my rankings what they were. And but I kind of like I think the Giants offense is gonna wake up a little bit with Dart. I mean, it has to. It literally has to.
I would say I hope so because like I actually kind of like Jackson Dart, but obviously I don't hope so because they're in the division. But like there'll be some life. I think. I still think they're very bad.
I agree. Ethan, number 2.
I had the Jets number 2, kind of for the same reason that Chris had the Dolphins number 1. Just like they've been in these games against these kind of pretty good teams. Steelers weren't very good, but they were in that game. They were in this game against the Bucks. Weird as it was. Week 2 was kind of weird, but I think they're a team that can keep putting things together.
Do you think they put it
I
together
think
with
that's great.
Fields?
I do.
I don't think if it's Fields or Taylor changes anything.
I also
I
like the
think
bar
they're
for
both
putting
like a
it
D+
together.
quarterback.
Like putting it together isn't like all of a sudden ripping off a big win streak. Like we're talking about the bottom 6
Yeah.
teams in the NFL right
Maybe
now.
getting to 500.
Right, yeah. Sniffing 500.
Yes, I
Well,
agree
yeah,
with
I
this.
agree. I
That's the
think
goal for all
they've
these
been
0-3
competitive.
teams.
They have been oddly competitive. And their defense needs to look a little bit better. For the personnel that they have on defense and the high draft picks and the pedigree, they need to look a little bit better on defense.
I think with a defensive
Signing
head coach,
Brandon
you'll get
Stevens was such a
better.
mistake.
Oh yeah, Brandon
Which
Stevens sucks.
um,
He's the cornerback. Didn't they give him a massive contract too from the Ravens?
Yeah, he was the highest. I think he was the highest paid corner from this free agency cycle.
Oof.
That
He's awful.
that Mike Evans slant touchdown literally just Brandon Stevens special. He's in his hip pocket and just can do about it.
All right, that was number 2, right? So I got the Dolphins at 3.
Yep,
I had the Jets at 3.
Ethan.
I had the Giants at 3.
All right, cool. Now we're really getting to the scum. I had the Jets at 4.
I got the Titans.
Okay.
I also have the Titans.
All right. I have them at 5. So let's talk about the Titans for a second. I mean, Cam Ward will eventually grow into his own, and they, rocky start for first 3 starts for the guy. They were competitive in that Rams game for a little bit, and they were competitive in that Broncos
Yep.
game. This Colts one's bad. Them against the Texans next week is going to be ugly. That's one of the
Yeah, flop
stinkiest
bet.
games on the board. Yeah, that is one of the stinkiest games
I
on
think
the
it's gonna be like 36.
board. Ugh. All right, and then we all had the Saints last.
I think Cam Ward needs to go
Yes.
back to Cam. This Cameron Ward, I think, is the bad juju. They need to get rid of that.
Is that what the
like
announcers are saying when he's out there? Cameron Ward?
Yeah, and all the staff he's listed as Cameron Ward.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, he definitely needs to go back to Cam. That is weird.
Yeah, that's like a free touchdown every game.
All right, and then the Saints. We don't need to talk about them.
The
All right.
Bills are a 16.5 point
Actually-
favorite against the Saints next week.
Oof.
I had the Dolphins last.
Oh,
The
really?
Dolphins last.
Yeah, my vibe is just so low on that team. I don't see difference makers. Like I know they've been closer to these past two games. They weren't getting blown out. I just don't see like where it gets better. You know what I mean? I think they're playing to their maximum potential. I don't think Tua's going to get better. I don't think like they don't have young guys waiting to get better. I think this is just who they are. They're just a pretty bad team.
The
It's
one thing with
definitely
the Dolphins, remember when we were talking about the Ravens at the beginning of the pod when it's like, oh, when something goes wrong, like they compound on themselves. When something goes wrong for the Dolphins, it's done. It's over. And like we
Yeah.
didn't see the Tua pick until late in was that the fourth quarter of that Bills game? So and then after that it was over. So it's like they need to play perfect football to win these games. So I do think that's going to be hard to come by. All right. That's funny. If someone had the best 0-3 team and then the worst 0-3 team, both the Dolphins. 3-0. I have the Buffalo Bills as number 1, the Wagons. Got anything different?
I'm the Eagles.
Okay. That's my
And
number
the
2.
Eagles, their roster is just so good.
It is so good. They and now that they're using the offense as an actual offense, and can come back from down 26 or 21 to 26-7. So,
Yeah, something like that. To a good team too. It's not like they're playing down to a bad team.
Yeah.
So it is they are very impressive. And they probably should be my
If
number
they beat
1.
the Bucks, if they beat the Bucks next week, they will have won at Arrowhead against the Rams and then in Tampa in 4 weeks.
Damn.
That's if and the Bucks have their number, but just the fact that they've beaten or won in Kansas City and against the Rams.
The offensive line troubles are going to come up against the Eagles though for the Bucks. Big time.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, well then I'm guessing you guys all had Bills too.
Correct.
All right. And then I have the Chargers.
Agreed.
I had the Bucks 3.
Okay, I like that because I had the Bucks 4, and I was very like, I think the injuries are what made me not get to 4.
The Bucks, I just feel like are playing with fire right now. Like that,
Like
both
the
games.
same thinking as you guys, just let.
Yeah. You think that? Yeah, I think you did the same thing.
Like with all these O linemen not playing and stuff like that, if they're still been able to do this well, when these guys get back eventually, hopefully just keep on going up.
It's true. Yeah, when they get healthier. Chris, keep going in the fire.
Well, week 1 they lost on a missed field goal. Week 2 they won on the last second field goal. Week 3 they won on the last second field goal. Like these are any of those 3 games could have gone the other way. And like, yes, it's a testament to Baker to going down and winning those games at the end. But like they're 1-score games. They could definitely go either way.
I agree with
100%.
that.
It would still be high in like my overall power rankings. I'm not trying to disparage the Bucks.
Yeah.
Only the argument for them being ahead of the Chargers or behind the Chargers.
All right, and then now it's where do you have the Colts and where do you have the Niners? I have the Colts at 5 above the Niners.
First Daniel.
Yep, Mac
Okay.
versus Daniel Jones. I have them above just because it's gonna be like week 8 and Christian McCaffrey is gonna be the only guy out there. Like Mac Jones got injured. If Brock Purdy's not ready to go, they might be on their third string quarterback already. So um, they're just a little too injury prone for me.
I feel you. I had
Yeah,
the
I
same
don't
way,
think so.
Colts and Niners.
I did have the Niners in front, almost based on principle. Just that I'm refusing. I can't get behind this Daniel Jones thing.
Get it? And they're gonna be. Oh no, they're facing the Rams, so there's a chance that they're not undefeated come next week. So the nightmare might finally be
If
over.
they are.
Oh, they are. It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be insane discourse going on throughout the NFL world.
Yeah.
All right.
I will say
Any-
I am happy for him.
Oh yeah, same here.
This side of this.
How bad
like,
do you think the Giants feel right now?
So
The two biggest players they've three biggest players they've what? Xavier McKinney,
Yep.
Yep.
Daniel Jones, and Saquon Barkley, and all three of those players have single-handedly changed their side of the field and the team they go to. That's gotta sting.
I think the fans are just kind of used to it at this point. Just the torture and the
Yeah.
pain.
Well, it's at least Daniel. Like nobody wanted to keep Daniel Jones.
Yeah, that's true. The other two they
Okay,
wanted to
but
keep.
But what if they knew he could play like this though?
They did. It was just 2 years ago. Forgot.
The NFL is very short-term memory, so it's I don't blame them. All right. Anything else before we close out?
Good here.
Not much. Go
Terps 4-0.
Ravens.
All right. Well, yeah, Terps are they're a wagon. I saw that somebody retweeted the big throw that your quarterback had, and he's like, "Oh, he's gonna look so good on a good team next year."
I know.
And I was like, "What an
That's
ass!"
ridiculous.
Yeah, like he's a freshman.
We have
Um,
now. We have money.
yeah, they got
We
the
have
Nike.
money.
They were Under
He
Armour.
could have gotten paid somewhere else as a freshman.
Mm-hmm. I like the mentality. The Gamecocks are they're falling to they're bad. All right. Thank you all for listening. We'll see everyone for the Wise. Actually, no, I'm not going to be here this weekend. Sorry. We'll see everyone next week.